everyone. Welcome to another episode of RV Healthy. I'm Courtney Wallen, of course, joined by Sylvia Tarnuzzer. Sylvia, how are you today?
I'm good, Courtney. Thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm feeling a yo-yo. I was going to try to do a yo-yo pun, but I had nothing. Nothing at all. We're going to talk about yo-yo dieting today. I won't be punny about it. I'll just tell you the facts. This is something that I think at one point or another we've all struggled with, and it's a cycle you have to break, and it's serious. I mean, a lot of people struggle with this. A lot of them are right in the news all the time, and I feel horrible for them because they're being criticized about it, but it's something that's very common. So what is yo-yo dieting? Can you give us a definition and start us right from the beginning?
Right. Yo-yo dieting, a lot of people think yo-yo dieting is they're not successful at their weight loss, when in fact, they're very successful at their weight loss. What they're not successful at is keeping it off.
Absolutely.
So many yo-yo dieters can lose the weight at whatever diet they try,
Yep.
but they can't keep it off. It comes right back on, and sometimes more than what they lost.
Absolutely. And I mean, I've been guilty of it. And I know that you and I, before the show, we were talking, some of the most famous yo-yo dieters are Oprah and Christy Alley, and they've lost so much weight and have done phenomenal things.
Right.
And then it's like it all disappeared. It all went away, and they end up getting bigger. And, it is unfortunate that they're right there and everyone can see it. But if we can use that as an example to stop that and not let that happen to us, and use that, how do you keep successful after you've lost that weight? What makes people do the yo to the yo?
Well, what happens many times in an episode we talked about on habits is they don't change their habits. So they can lose the weight from whatever diet they've tried. They can get that weight off, but they haven't made any habit changes. And many times, because the diet that they were on, they felt very deprived. Because it took away so much of the favorite foods. And so when the diet was over, they brought those foods back in. They introduced those foods back into themselves. And many times they didn't know good habits to make it very minimal when they were trying it, or bringing those foods back in. And so they sabotaged themselves because they didn't change their habits.
So do you look at it, I think we've talked about this on a lot of episodes. It's not really a diet, it's a lifestyle change, and that's how you're going to avoid the yo-yo effect?
It is. It's a lifestyle change. And we say that a lot, but you truly have to believe that it is a lifestyle change. And you have to really focus on, why do you want that weight off? And it's not just to look good in a bikini or look good in a bathing suit. Many times it needs to be more health related, so that you really do make those true bona fide lifestyle changes.
I was going to say, I wonder if there's like an infographic we could put together on the months that people yo-yo the most. I would think it would probably be like March, right around spring break. Then they probably gain the weight back and then say, oh no, it's swimsuit season. And then you've got May and the way that people yo-yo with the seasons. But really, it could be a wedding. It could be any, high school reunion or something that you just want to look fabulous for. And then after it's done and over with, you yo. Is that the correct?
Yeah.
You yo-yo.
The other way, that's right. We yo and then we yo.
Yo-yo and yo-yo. So we've defined what a yo-yo dieter is if you weren't aware of it. But now what do I do if I'm a yo-yo dieter? So let's say I'm doing something now and I'm scared that in 3 months that the things I've done now aren't going to even matter. Like it won't even look like I've done anything.
Well, first and foremost, know how it affects your body. And the health aspects of yo-yo dieting are a multitude of what could be health-related problems. But most importantly, when we lose weight, many times initially we lose quite a bit of fat and muscle. But when we regain it really fast, we're only regaining the fat part. So it makes it much more difficult the second time around to try to get that fat and a little bit of muscle off, just to in turn increase again on fat. So your fat to muscle ratio is significantly changed, and we don't want that to happen. So what we want you to do is make the small changes and make sure that the diet that you're on, the weight loss program that you're on, doesn't deprive you so significantly that you can't handle that lifestyle change.
Absolutely. I think that's key. And I think that for myself personally, I finally found a way of eating that I'm not, I'm not depriving myself, and I can find different ways to make different things. And, we've talked a lot about that in other episodes, but okay.
Right.
So it's not good for your health, really, is what you're saying. So stay
Right.
away from it for that reason.
Right. It's not good for your health, and deprivation can really make your mind do many different things as well. So when you're looking at this type of situation where you're a consistent yo-yo dieter, it also affects your mindset. So you really do feel like a lack of control. And so you're sabotaging your efforts, because the minute you go back into another diet, you're already saying, before you even start that next weight loss program, that next diet, you're telling yourself you're not going to succeed. It doesn't matter even if you go in with a positive mindset, because you failed before many, many times, you're constantly telling yourself you probably are going to fail again. So you're kind of coming into it with a little bit of sabotaging for yourself. So make sure that when you do start a new program, you do it with a really clear, good mindset. Make it a brand new, even if you tried a same weight loss program you've tried in the past, try it with a different mindset this time, that you will succeed and you will make the changes that you need necessary to keep it off so you don't yo-yo again.
Absolutely. And I think, maybe we should all put it in front of us. We all know this, but you don't want to admit it. It's very hard to lose weight. It's so easy to gain it. I mean, it could take you 6 months to lose, 10 pounds. And within sometimes it feels like a month or 2 months, that could be half back.
You're right. And, it happens many, many times. We'll see a man and woman, spouse and significant other or whatever, losing weight at the same time. And men can just drop it like crazy, very, very fast. And we women have to struggle.
Yeah.
And so, when you go into it again with that mindset, you're going to struggle a little bit more than the guy that you have trying to lose the weight with you.
It's not fair, is it? It's not fair at all.
It's not. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
It's not fair. And, I've got a sister who can eat anything. She's a girl, too. That's not fair. I'm like, hey, you can eat it whatever you want, but I always say it'll catch up with her, and it's coming for you.
Right.
So the yo-yo dieting there, are there any other questions we need to ask ourselves to really stay away from it, or to see if we're if we're not willing to admit that we're a yo-yo dieter? What are some questions that we can ask ourselves to determine how to stop it and not let it happen again?
Well, make sure that when you go into a new weight loss program, first and foremost, is it a program that you're not going to be deprived of something? I used, the old Atkins plan. There were a lot of people that I worked with that did that plan and were successful with that plan, but they weren't successful keeping it off because it took away all the carbs. Mm-hmm. And they were the type of person that really liked a baked potato every now and then, or even a small stack of fries. And when you introduce that back in, it obviously, you kind of create a need for that food back in your system, and
Yep.
you tend to binge on it because you haven't had it for so long. So when you go into a new one, first and foremost, make sure you're not depriving yourself of all of your favorite items. And then secondly, when you go into it, you just want to make sure that you're looking at what did work in the past? What were you successful with? And will that also be another assistance for you going into this new program? And then what didn't work? And know that going into this new program. So you're prepared. Bottom line, you want to be prepared because you are a yo-yo dieter. You are a career dieter. So let's go into it with the mindset that this is going to be it. And I can make those changes so that this is the last time I need to take my weight off again.
Absolutely. And, we unfortunately, one of my favorite shows, I love The Biggest Loser. It's a phenomenal show. It's really inspiring. But what's really sad is that they go back sometimes, and those people that put in all that hard work, and they didn't make it a lifestyle again. It just goes back to that. So, that's a little dramatic, and it's a lot of really quickly stop doing this, stop doing this, stop doing that. And so maybe not the right approach. But it's a good example of what happens if you don't stay with it. So what are some tips to remember when picking out a new weight loss program so that I don't fall back into it?
Okay, so when you pick out a new weight loss program, again, make sure that it's a program that you're not going to feel deprived. Make sure that you find a way to reward yourself for those small increments of successes along the way. And make sure that it's not food related. I mean, if food is your victim, you don't want it to be what you're going to reward yourself with. So you can say, you know what, instead I'm going to go ahead and give myself, you know, a 30-minute massage, or have myself a 30-minute massage, pay for that. Go and play a game of golf, whatever the case may be. Just find the ways that you can reward yourself, and making sure that you're doing it in increments so that this does become that lifestyle change that you need.
I like that. You know what? I think I would like a massage better than some ice cream, or a massage better than a nice dinner.
Right.
I think I'll feel much better for a longer time after that. Well, these have been some great tips, and I know, you know, don't feel bad if you have struggled with yo-yo dieting, because you're not alone. And we hope that this episode has given you some tips and tricks to reverse that, not let it happen again, because I know I'm going to keep close attention. And I'm going to repeat again, we're going to have all of this in our show notes, and the way you get to the show notes, if you're watching us on the Roku or the Boxee, you won't have the show notes there, but you need to go to rvnn.tv and go to the shows tab, and under that you'll see RV Healthy, and right there all the episodes will be archived, and whatever one you click on, the notes will be attached with it. So be sure to check that out. And of course, RV Healthy has a board on RVNN's Pinterest account. You can circle us on Google+, give us a thumbs up on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. If you hashtag RVHL on Twitter, you can ask Sylvia questions right there, or you can always visit her at rvhealthy.com. Sylvia, any last words?
Just one last one, and that is, if you've tried every program out there, maybe it's time to try a health coach. I'm going to put a plug in for me just this one time. Okay?
Just that one time. We'll let you do it. But that's a great option. If you can't do it yourself, you need some help. So whether it's an accountability buddy or, you know, a health coach.
Partner.
Yep.
Absolutely. Accountability partners are great as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, Sylvia, thank you so much. This has been another great episode, per usual. And we will see you all next time.
Hey, Gabe, wanna go for a walk? Gabe? Gabe? Gabe?
Hey, buddy, you lost? Hold on.
If your pet is the adventuresome type, be sure he's connected to Pet Hub. A quick scan using any smartphone shares your pet's vital information so that even his wildest escapades have a happy ending. Pet Hub, reuniting pets with their families.
Come on, Gabe, let's go home.